Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. We're Jenny and Logan of the Two Traveling Kings.
If you are new here, we just got back to the US after living in Australia for the past 8 months.
While we were living in Australia, we made a few videos talking about our favorite foods in Australia, our favorite things about Australia, and even some things we didn't like about Australia.
So now that we've been back in the US for just about a month, we wanted to share with you what some of our biggest experiences with culture shock have been. We've spent the majority of the last year outside of the country, so naturally coming back, some stuff feels a little weird. So today we're going to go through our top 5 biggest instances of culture shock coming back to the US.
So starting off with number 1, and also the one that hit us the most after landing in San Francisco Airport, walking on the other side of the road path and also driving on the other side of the road. After doing our daily walks in Australia to get out of the house, we were very accustomed to walking on the left side of the path. So when we landed and walked into the United Lounge in San Francisco, I was walking on the left side, even though there were clearly little feet on the floor telling you exactly where to walk.
That was the first thing we noticed.
Yeah. Right when we got back.
And we're still not used to it. We've been trying to go on walks here. Luckily with driving, so far we've stayed on the right side of the road, so we've been saved there, but walking is still a little bit confusing. We just have to think about it.
Yes.
Way harder than we ever had to before. Coming in at number 2 is the coffee. Now this was something we completely expected to be different because if you watched any of our Australia videos, you know that I fell in love with the Australian coffee. Perhaps one of the saddest goodbyes. Oh, this is my final flat white in Australia. So I was trying to work myself up for coming back to the US and drinking filtered drip coffee. And it's just, it's not the same.
It's different, yeah, it's a different coffee category. I have a special place in my heart for a good cup of drip coffee, but it's just different. And there's even coffee creamers here in America, which we tried. Jenny gave it a shot this week, but I don't think we'll be going back to coffee creamer anytime soon.
But we used to drink it all the time.
All the time.
But I think I've been spoiled. Australia ruined me. I am now a coffee snob. Oops.
And coming in at number 3, the size of everything. As you know, as you probably heard, everything is larger in America, which is very true. After living in small studio apartments for most of the last year while traveling and in Sydney, except Scott's loft was quite large for us. Thanks, Scott.
Very spacious loft.
We come back to the US in a nice large townhome with a massive washer dryer, a huge oven, just things you just get used to, and then when you're popped in another country and you just see how large it is, you really notice the difference. The space was nice, it was just very noticeable. And even when Jenny's dad brought over groceries, just the size of the hot sauce we missed, nice big thing of hot sauce.
Or chips, bag of potato chips is bigger than your head, which probably seems so silly, but when you're used to buying groceries in foreign countries, things just don't come in Costco size packaging all the time.
Yeah.
So everything, we just feel like we're probably annoying everyone because everything is, wow, this looks so big. Washer, dryer, TV.
The washer and dryer finish very quickly here in the US compared to back in
And we have a dryer, which is not a normal thing elsewhere.
Very true.
We learned that we forgot we had a lot of things back in the US and we don't necessarily need them, but having them again it's kind of nice.
Not so bad.
Very luxurious.
And coming in at number 4 is tipping culture. So the US is known for its tipping culture. It's something that we've grown up in, just it's a normal way of life. So after being abroad and not having to tip for a very long time, yeah, it stands out when we did delivery and our first 2 weeks of quarantine here. We had our tips.
It felt like 2 months.
We've just been going out to eat a few times and there's the tip. I mean, it's not like a big deal being Americans. That's what we're used to.
More of an, oops, I forgot we had to do that kind of thing. So that's really the biggest deal. But as a former waitress, I always tip.
We always tip. Tip well.
Rounding out our list, number 5, probably a little silly, but we've been watching a lot of TV, especially since we were in quarantine, and the pharmaceutical commercials are something we had forgotten about because you don't find those elsewhere. So just promoting different drugs and the funny lifestyle commercials, and we had forgotten they existed, so it's something we see pretty often while we watch TV.
It's just very common here in the US and something that's non-existent in many, many countries. You don't really have pharmaceutical commercials direct to the patient or consumer. So yeah, something we've gotten used to, and they're always very entertaining.
They are kind of entertaining, yeah.
And that rounds out our top 5 list. It's mainly just been things we've really noticed after being back home in America, after living away for a while. I'm sure as time goes on, we'll notice some more things, different things we'll have to get used to.
Yeah, definitely.
Way of life here in America. But yeah, let us know if you've lived abroad, any things that you've noticed being different when you go back home to Australia, Europe, wherever it may be.
It's part of the deal. You go out traveling and then you come back home and things are foreign back home, which is kind of cool too.
Yeah. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.
Hi everybody.
He's sniffing the mic.
Special studio guest today. Can you say hi, Charlie? Can you say hi? No, he's a little camera shy. Yes.
Poor Charlie.